PHP coders tired of creating private getters just to protect your properties? PHP 8.1 has the answer in the form of read-only properties. But first, press the like button if you find this interesting. Let's get started. So we have a class here named user, and it has one property called username, which is set in the constructor. If we create a new user and give it a default name of, let's say, Mark, we can get this variable by saying username. If we run this, we'll see we get the name Mark because we pass it in the constructor. If we try to alter this username and we say username is equal to, let's say, Peter, and we run this, we can see we are able to edit the username because it is set to public. If we want to prevent this, we can change the value to private, and now we need to give the user a method of getting the username. So we create a custom function, get username, and we return the username. If we run this now, we get an error because the property is private, so we can't edit it anymore. But if we remove it and we use the getUsername method instead of the property itself, we are now able to get the property username. However, it's not really ideal to create a function every time we just want to get a property and not be able to edit the property. This is where PHP 8.1 comes in with the new read-only property. Instead of creating a function, we can move it back to public and we can say read-only. Now, if we use this, we can change it back to username. And when we run this, we can get the username property from the class, just like we could before. But if we now try to edit the username, saying username is Peter, we get an error. We get an error, cannot modify a read-only property. Well, this is ideal now. Now we have the best of both worlds. It is a read-only property, so we can read it, but we are not able to edit it after the constructor. The constructor itself can edit it, but after that we can't. We can take it one step further. If we have multiple read-only properties, let's say we got an SSID, social security number, and we set it here, SSID, and we change it from both to this. Now we have multiple properties which are read-only, and we can both get them just like we would any other property, and we can't edit them because they're read-only. If our class consists of only read-only properties, PHP 8.2 has a new feature, then we can remove the read-only properties here and we can create a read-only class. And this read-only class will make every property from the class read-only without having to state it every time in the property itself. So if we try to run this, we can get the variables, but if we try to change them, for example, the SSID, we can see we get an error again because we're trying to modify a read-only property. Very handy for secure classes which should only have properties that are set once and never to be modified again. I hope this was helpful. Remember, read-only classes PHP 8.2, read-only properties PHP 8.1. Thank you for watching.